I got a couple of projects coming up that I'm wanting to work on. Don't I always have projects coming up that I want to work on. Welcome to TNT Homesteading. Join us as we spend our first full year here on our 10-acre off-grid homestead. Hey all, welcome to TNT Homesteading. This is Terry. Last weekend was the homesteading conference that we went to. It was fun. It was a real small conference. I did sit in on a really great talk about water collection and composting toilets, and learned several things there, and especially as we get ready to up our water collection game here, I really did learn some really cool stuff. Our talk was okay. We didn't have very many people. There was some confusion on what we were going to talk about. What we thought we were going to talk about and what they had on their schedule were two different things. But several people did know that we did solar panels, and they had several questions about solar. So we ended up talking mainly about solar panels. So while it wasn't technically about tiny living or prepping for winter for off-grid, which is what they had us down for, which I'm not quite sure how that happened. Anyway, it was good. But when you spend a full Saturday doing that kind of stuff, you're not doing projects here. Next week, well, this coming week, I'm going to be at my parents' helping put in a mini split like we put in here. And so that and probably some other projects for them. So I won't be doing stuff here next week either. It's a really rainy day. Finally, we went for almost a month, I think, with about an inch of rain, a little over that actually. Well, a little over time-wise, and maybe less than an inch of rain. We've already gotten an inch and 3/4 here 2 days ago on the 31st. So that was really good. We needed that desperately. We're supposed to get more today and tomorrow. They are actually talking about flood watches and the like. So that limits what I can do, because I don't want to be doing something and have to run for the hills because of rain. So decided to go ahead and work on our shed and get it cleaned out and starting to get things prepped for winter. It is a mess. Not as bad as I've seen it before, but stuff we've picked up. We've picked up a pressure canner. We've picked up a beehive kit. And, you know, stuff gets thrown in here whenever we need it out of the weather, but don't really know where to put it. So that's what's on tap. I'm going to clean things around in here, rearrange some stuff, maybe throw out some stuff, and we'll go from there. Here, I would like, if I can figure out how, to move that oven in here, because that oven, the top is a cook stove, 2-burner propane cook stove. Making coffee in the wind in the mornings can be very difficult on the Blackstone on the porch. So if I could come in here and out of the wind and make coffee, that would be really good. Anyway, I better get to work before the rain moves in. Well, I'm making some progress, and then it's made my head hurt a few times. You can see I've got most everything, at least floor space is sort of cleared out. I'm rearranging some of the stuff on the walls. I did decide or wonder, okay, I got 2 hammers there. How many hammers does a person really need? 3 hammers there. This one I found in the mud and the dirt, as you can tell. I think it was here when we got here, and I just stumbled across it one day. 5 normal hammers, not to mention sledgehammers and rubber mallets and the like. Anyway, making some progress in here. The other side, it's not quite as nice. It's definitely more storage, but the foam stuff will go around the batteries closer to winter. I'll probably rearrange some of the stuff in here, but I have sort of trying to make sure I've got a good thing going on the shelving. You know, I've got the bee kit, I've got the canner, some of the other stuff in here. This is just typical storage. Leaf blower, chainsaw, weed eater, you know, that kind of stuff. Anyway, I got a couple of projects coming up that I'm wanting to work on. don't I always have projects coming up that I want to work on. So, well, let me go back to this and see if I can get to some of them. Well, it's a little higher than I would like, being on top of the table saw. But since this is only a temporary thing when I can't make coffee on the stove on the porch, it should work. And there is my next project. We got this for about 20 bucks from someone that was moving. I'll cut a hole into that and put a couple of bins in it. Sorry, cut a hole in the wall to vent this out. But an old stove. Birmingham Stove and Range Company. Number 60. The legs, one is on it. I have one of the other legs. It's partially broken, but the clamps underneath it don't work, so the cinder blocks will have to do. The handle on this is broken, but it's nice and heavy, sturdy. I'll probably clean it up. I don't technically need to. It's not going in a house, it's going to go right here. Hopefully, we'll see how it goes. I'll have to watch some stuff and make sure nothing else needs moved around. But it'll help keep the batteries above freezing whenever it gets that cold. And thankfully, that doesn't happen very often here. I think last winter I only had to turn on, we had the propane smoker actually stored in here. And I think I turned it on a few times last winter. A whole bunch during that really, really cold snap that lasted a week or so. And because we can't, with the lithium ion phosphate batteries, it has to be above freezing for the batteries to be charging. Or the batteries have to be above freezing. So have to keep an eye on that. But just about have most everything in here taken care of. I got rid of a few things. I still have a little cleanup over here. I still have to clean up this corner. But with the rain coming, I wanted to get where everything was moved inside. That old blue toolbox that I've had for a long time, it was a Christmas gift from my bride. It's been a great gift, but the hinges have all broken off, and I think it's about time for that to go. So I need to go through that and see what's left in it. Not a whole lot. It had been open, and before we re-roofed the shed, it had gotten lots of rain in it, so most everything in there is rusted and not any good. But I want to go through it all. Had a little kid's bow that my wife got at some garage sale that's just been hanging up in the shed, an old ice maker we used to use all the time before we moved here. The big net, it's got a huge hole in it and it's rotting. The small net I don't really need, I've got nets. And that one is, I do love the wooden handle though. But yeah. So I'm going to get back in here and do some more cleanup and get things situated. I've got several new cast iron pots that we've gotten for places for a song and a dance because they were rusted. And it's real easy to clean up cast iron. There's lots of different ways to do it. So I'm probably going to be working on some of those before long. Alright, well it took me a few hours to get everything cleaned up, straightened up, rearranged a little bit. I'm sure there's probably more I could still do. But I think I'm going to call it quits. Pretty happy though. Of course that's sitting there. You know, it's your typical storage building with stuff all over the place. Got rid of a few things that we don't use anymore. Cleaned up this corner quite a bit. So anyway, I'm pretty happy with it, but I'm hungry. It's lunchtime, and after that I don't know what I'll do. Knowing me, I'm sure I'll do something. Anyway, y'all, thanks for watching. God bless. See you on the next video.